For you guys that have just logged in, you're going to need a strap or a belt. And then let's get started. So we're going to start lying down on backs today, guys. Just have your strap next to you. So our class today is a bit of a mixed bag. I'm not focusing on anything specific. We've got pretty much everything in there except arm balances and back bends and inversions. So we're just mixing it up. No specific focus today. Okay, let's drop feet down to the sides of your mat and roll your knees left to right. Sinking down into shoulders and arms. And starting to become aware of your breathing. Breathing in to lift to center, breathing out to roll down to one side. Each time you breathe out, sink those arms and shoulders a little bit more. And then next time you point your knees up, we're going to slide feet into touch and stretch your legs straight on the ground. Once your legs are straight and the shoulders are down, flex your ankles, push your heels away from you, pull the toes up, and we're going to alternate knee to chest, moving with breath. So on an exhale, one knee comes up, squeeze in with your hands. As you breathe in, stretch out. So out breath, leg comes up, in breath, leg straightens, and we're just going left to right in your own time. You can keep your head on the floor unless you've already done some kind of exercise this morning and you're nice and warm. Like if you've been for a run or a walk, then you're welcome to do forward to knee. Otherwise, I would suggest keeping your head down, and we'll get into neck and shoulders just now. Still going with breath. Exhale to lift. Inhale to stretch straight. And next time your one knee comes up, let's hold it there. So once you're hugging the shin or the thigh all the way down, drop your shoulders once more. And then focus into the straight leg. And really press that heel away from you. So you're making your leg longer. With each out breath, letting your thigh come closer to your ribs. And then let's change legs. Other knee to chest. Squeeze in with your hands on shin or knee or back of the thigh. And then feel the shoulders and the upper arms sink. Stretch long into the straight leg heel, pulling your toes back towards your knee. Make sure your knee and your toes point straight up. Each exhale, bringing that bent leg a little bit closer to your upper body. And then bringing your other knee up and hugging shins or knees again. And now stretching both legs straight on the floor. Flex your ankles. And now we're going to bring the right knee up. And we're going to take some circles. So you guys all know, lower back flat on the ground. Don't let that left bum lift. Keep your pelvis completely square on the mat. Squeezing your belly tight, but keep breathing. And then circling that leg around in the opposite direction. Make sure that you are still flexing your left ankle, keeping the heel down. And next time your knee comes into your chest, you're to hold onto the back of the thigh this time. So pull the thigh in nice and close to your ribs, press your shoulders down, and now don't let your right knee or your right thigh lift away from your body. Start to lift the right calf and foot up. So that right leg is not going to get straight. It's going to stay bent. And you can flex or you can point the toes, doesn't matter. Just keep hugging in with your hands, getting that right thigh in as close to your body as you can, but lifting up with the calf. Don't let your right leg lift away from your body. And then we take right leg onto the floor and change to the other side. So flex that right ankle, right leg nice and straight on the mat. Left knee comes up. We're going into our circles. So keep your right thumb down, keep your shoulders flat on the floor, no wobbling of the shoulders and the chest from left to right. Make sure that you keep breathing as you roll. And then change and circle in the opposite direction. Squeezing your belly tight, but not letting that stop you from breathing. Next time your thigh comes up, holding on, back of the thigh with your hands, squeeze your thigh in really close to your body. Drop the shoulders and then start to lift your left foot and your left calf. Don't let the left thigh lift up. Keep it as close to your chest as you can or to your body as you can. Again, the foot can flex or point or halfway in between. Just check in with the right leg. Make sure your knee and toes point straight up. Don't turn them out to the side. And then stretching that leg straight. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms towards your toes, get those big toes touching, feet are flexed again as if you're standing on your feet, and we do a few warmings into the shoulder. Inhale to lift your arms over your head, exhale to bring the arms down. Don't worry if your arms or your hands don't touch the floor over your head, that's fine, and has to do with the structure of your shoulder joint. And you might find that your lower back arches a bit as the arms go up. That's fine. If it arches up off the floor, that's okay. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to take it down. And we'll lift and lower one more time. Next time your arms come down to your legs, you can drop them onto the floor. And then we're going to bend knees. So pointing your knees to the roof, feet hip distance apart, bringing right ankle to your left thigh. So we're coming to figure of four, and if that's already super intense for you, you don't have to lift that left foot off the ground. You can always stay there, just pushing onto the right knee, or you can lift the left foot and hold onto your left leg, and that left knee can be bent, or you can stretch your legs straight up. And then if you're stretching your left leg straight up, flex the ankle, stretch your heel away from you to give you a little bit more length in your leg muscles. And check in with your lower back, your sacrum, and the two sides of your pelvis, that you're not leaning more to the left or the right. Usually with this, we lean more to the right and to the right shoulder and hip and lower back. So center yourself, don't tip to one side. So we keep the right foot on the left leg, take the left foot down to the ground. If it's lifted, then take right foot down to the mat and change over. Left ankle to right thigh. Either staying like that and pressing that left thigh away from you. That's actually a really nice opener for the groin. Or lifting right foot, maybe knee bent or straight. If you're holding onto that right leg, relax the shoulders. Relax your throat. Allow the collarbones to spread. If your right leg is straight, stretch your heel up. Relaxing your face fully. Now, keeping your left foot where it is, we bend the right knee and take right foot down if that leg is straight or lifted, then left foot down to the mat. Feet hip distance apart with the knees bent. Grab your strap or your belt. We're taking it over the right foot. So when you're ready, left foot stays on the ground, knee bent, strap over the right foot just below your toes. Don't go over the arch of the foot. There is a version where can go over your heel if you want to do that. Just stay away from the middle part of the foot. And then when you are holding onto your strap, just make sure your hands are in the same position as each other. Don't have one hand higher than the other. You evenly drop the arms back towards the floor behind you. Each time you breathe out, feel the thigh bones become heavier. So we want these thigh bones to sink into the hip sockets. So that's why one of the reasons why we have the left knee bent right now and pointing up rather than left leg straight is that we're sinking the left thigh bone as well as the right thigh bone down into the hip joint socket. And that action releases tension in the ligaments around the hip joint. Okay, now you're to reach up with your left hand, hold the two sides of your strap or belt with the left hand, drop your right onto the floor, and we're taking the twist. So bent left knee drops over to the left, take that right leg over your body. And your right knee can be bent or straight. Keep your chest completely square to the ceiling. Nose pointing up. Check in with your face again. Relax your cheeks and your mouth. And then lifting your right leg all the way up. And take your strap off and change. So right foot on the floor, right knee stays bent, pointing up. Strap over your left foot. Again, avoid the arch of the foot because then you can't push into anything. And then checking that your hands are again evenly placed up your strap on each side of the foot. We check in with the hips. Again, like your previous pose where you had ankle to thigh. When we lift one leg, we always tend to favor one side of the body and we're just slightly tilting to left or right. So try and feel where that is for you. Sink those shoulders. Then reaching up with your right hand, hold the two sides of your belt or strap, and we take the twist. Left arm dropping to the ground, right knee flops over to the side, and taking that left leg over your body. Don't let the left shoulder lift. Keep the left shoulder flat on the mat. Again, nose points up so that your neck is relaxed on both sides. Each time you breathe out, sink deeper into your upper back, sink deeper into the shoulders. And then squeezing your tummy tight. We lift up to center, take your strap off, put it off to the side for a little bit later. And then hugging your knees. We're going to do some rocks. So you can hold your knees or you can hold hands. You can hold backs of thighs here, or you can cross your ankles and reach up and hold onto your feet or your ankles with your hands. Now you have to round your back. So you tuck your chin in and then we rock up and down the spine. And maybe you're just doing little rocks, and maybe you're coming all the way up to sitting and your rocks get bigger, and you might even flick your legs all the way over your head. But guys, if your back is flat, you will not be able to rock. So you've got to tuck your chin in. You're to try and round your back. And if you just absolutely cannot rock, like maybe Anisha, if it's too much, you just come up to sitting and we'll join you in a moment. This is really good for releasing tension, as you can imagine, all the way up each side of your back, stretching out the back with the rounding of the spine. It's also good for your neck, but only if you don't have neck issues. Okay, guys, we're going to rock all the way up to sitting. And when you get to sitting, oh, you probably can't see that, we're going to take feet to the floor with the knees together, feet touching, and we take a twist. So wrapping your left arm around the front of your shins, take your right arm back behind you. So Anisha, you can do this with legs wide. Keep breathing the chest high each time you inhale. Pressing the feet down firmly into the floor. That pushing of the floor, feet into the floor actually releases the hips and the lower back. And circling forward, so we wrap the other arm around the front and take the left arm back. Lift your heart high. Each inhale, trying to lengthen your lower back. So lift up out of the lower back. Then untwisting yourself. I'm going to drop knees out to the side and take a few bounces of the knees and shins. Okay, you don't actually even have to hold your legs here. You can lean back onto your hands if it's too much in your back. All right, guys, from here, we're going to be going into Marichasana C, our twist. So stretch your legs straight out in front of you. We're bending the right knee up. Wrap the left hand or elbow around that right knee or shin and circle your right arm back behind you. Okay, so careful with taking arm to the outside of the leg. If you're doing that version, sink your left shoulder down. And make sure that you can try that out, right? Taking the arm to the outside of the leg. Sometimes, depending on the tension in your back and shoulders, arm to outside of the leg sometimes takes you actually a little bit out of the twist. So try both out and see which takes you deep into the twist and feels better. And we circle forwards. Take your right leg straight, left knee bends up. When you're ready, circle off to the other side. Flex your right ankle, pull your toes all the way up towards the sky. Keep using your breath to lengthen. It's funny that how sometimes in our head, our heads say, oh yeah, if you do this pose, it's actually taking you deeper. And I've seen that so many times. People take their arms out to the outside of the leg and they actually untwist. They're not actually going deeper, but they think because the arm is there and it feels more intense in the shoulders and the neck, that it's going deeper, but it's not. It's actually just untwisting people and tightening them more. So our head, a lot of the time, has the wrong story. Okay, we twist forwards and we're to come into cross ankles. And from here, tipping forwards, reaching the arms out in front of you. You fold as deep as you feel like folding, so long as the knees are dropping down, they're not lifting up because you're tightening in the groins and your bum is on the floor. Okay, so feeling your breath. Each time you breathe in, lengthen your chest forwards. That's the most important lengthening here, is working with the chest. And walking your hands all the way up. We'll change the cross of the ankles, opposite shin in front, and then tipping forwards again. Okay, so more important to be up with a tall, straight spine and just slightly tipping forward with that flat back and the chest extending, then down and your chest crunches back towards your belly. Then you usually feel the tightening in the neck and the shoulders if your back is rounding. So lengthen the spine and release back and shoulders. It's only if you can go down and you can keep that lengthening that you go deeper. Once more, dropping the knees, dropping the thighs. And then coming all the way up. And now we're going to take hands back behind you with fingers pointing back and under your legs and take your feet to the sides of your mat. Let's windscreen like you did, or windscreen wiper knees like you did when you're lying on your back, but keeping bum on the floor this time. Shoulders all the way back, chest up high. So just like when you were lying on your back and the knees were bent, this angle of the thigh bone to the hip joint is really good for releasing tension again in the connective tissue around the hip joint. And next time you lift your knees, you step feet in to touch each other, drop the knees open again to your Baddha Konasana. But this time we're taking a twist. And remember, guys, you don't have to have the feet in super close. You can be more in diamond leg here if this feels better on your knees or your legs. Okay, left fingers over right ankle shin, circling the right arm back behind you. And Anisha, this is fine for you to do if it feels comfortable for you. So just make the adjustments you need to make to feel okay. And keeping your back up tall and straight, chest lifting high, circle forward, change to the other side, right ankle over left shin, and twist back. Each in-breath, still lifting out of the lower back, trying to lengthen that sacrum, trying to lengthen the lumbar spine. And circling forwards. And we're stretching both legs straight. And we're doing one more seated twist. Right foot over left thigh. You guys know I love this pose. Circle it around. Stretch into your left heel. Lifting your heart. So the reason I love this is because it's so effective in so many places in the body. Stretching out the shoulders, the upper back, the neck, all the way down each side of your back. lower back particularly, and then that outer right hip and your glute muscles on that right leg. At the same time, you're getting that lengthening through the left leg all the way to through the sole of the foot to the tip of the toes. So this is just such an effective pose to do. It's one of the ones that if you've only got 5 minutes in a day, this is one of the ones you should do. All right, so circle forwards, right leg straight, and left foot over. And twist to the other side. So keeping that left bum down, flex your right ankle so you get the full lengthening from the sits bone all the way to the tip of your toes. Each time you breathe in, feeling for the breath in your back ribs, that expansion of the back ribs on your inhale. And untwisting yourself, guys. We're going to make our way onto hands and knees. Do a few cats and cows. Balance out the two sides of your body after all those twists and warm ups. Full long breath in. And then flattening your spine. Let's take our baby down dog just to prepare a body for our full down dog when we get to it in a moment. So lengthening out if you can with the elbows, otherwise dropping forearms and elbows to the ground. Press down with shins, ankles, and toes. Walking up onto hands, and let's take it to our full down dog. From down dog, walking feet to the top of your mat. We're going to stay here in our forward fold, either just hanging arms, maybe you want to roll wrists and shoulders, maybe you want to hold forearms. All of that is good. Sink your head down fully. Relax your neck and your face. All right, now we're going to float up to standing and move into our Surya Namaskar. So inhale to rise, exhaling hands to center. Okay, here we go. Breathing in, stretch up. On your exhale, fold down. Lean to your shins as you fold. Keep leaning to shins as you half lift on your inhale. Straight back to downwards facing dog. Either staying in your down dog or on your in-breath, come forwards to plank and then flow yourself down. If you need to, you drop your knees. And when you get back to your down dog, staying there. And let's take feet forwards again to the top of the mat. On an out breath, fold down deeper. On an in breath, floating up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Straight back up with your next in breath. As you breathe out, bowing down. Lengthen through the spine on your inhale. And again, back into your downwards facing dog. Either keeping your down dog or taking your transition forwards on in breath. Flow yourself all the way through. Take upper arms all the way towards your spine when you lift your chest. And then holding your down dog. And while you're in that down dog, if you want to, you can cross your right leg over the back of the left leg or press your left heel or calf down with your right toes. Give a little bit of extra weight to that left leg. You don't have to if you don't want to, though. Make sure you're still leaning evenly into both your hands. And then changing, crossing left leg over the right leg or pushing the right heel down deeper towards the floor. Both feet to the mat. And we're taking feet forwards, standing forward bend. Now when we come up, we're going to keep arms overhead. Turn your palms forwards. We're going to cactus pulse the arms, so palms facing forwards. On an in-breath, pull down. On an out-breath, stretch up. In-breath down, out-breath up. Make sure your feet are parallel. So guys, the point of doing this is to warm into the muscles under and over your shoulder blades and between the shoulder blades, but also to warm and stretch into the fronts of the shoulders. So each time you pull the arms down, draw your shoulders back. It's also strengthening those upper back muscles, strengthening the muscles over the shoulders and in the chest. I pull down one more time. Next time you lift up, on your exhale, forward fold over thighs. We're going to take right leg back into a lunge. On an in-breath, we're coming up to warrior one arms. We're not holding it there. On an out-breath, take hands to the mat. Step back into downwards facing dog. On an in-breath, come forwards to plank, and as you breathe out, push straight back to down dog. From your down dog, stepping your right foot forwards into your lunge. Make sure you're balanced. On an inhale, arms go up to warrior one. Again, we're not holding it here. On an out breath, take your hands to the mat again. From there, we're stepping left foot forward, standing forward bend. On an inhale, come up, arms over your head to standing. Exhaling, hands to chest or arms to side. As you breathe in, stretch back up again. As you breathe out, forward fold. We're stepping left leg back into the lunge, exactly the same as the other side. On an inhale, arms go up to warrior one. Keep breathing. On an out breath, take hands to the mat. We're stepping back to downwards facing dog. Either staying in down dog or on your inhale, come to plank. As you breathe out, push straight back up, downwards facing dog. Then we're taking left foot forwards into a lunge again. With your in-breath, arms lift. On an out-breath, hands to the mat. Stepping the right foot forward, standing forward bend. Now we're going to take a squat. So take your feet from hip distance apart, a little bit wider than the hips. Let your toes turn out, either bending the knees and elbows to thighs or taking it a little bit lower. So guys, remember, the lower you go, the more you're going to lose strength. So don't sink it all the way down. Lift the hips a little bit, force those leg muscles to engage and work so that you're not straining in your joints. Remember, straining in the joints always causes wear and tear. So we obviously don't want to do that. It's better to keep the muscles engaged, lift a little bit out of the stretch. Then you get the strengthening and the stretching, and we're always looking for the balance of those two in our yoga, right? Okay, standing forward bend, feet still wider than hips, turn the feet parallel, reach your arms back, interlace your fingers. And now we're going to pedal the knees. So the arms are back, and you bend one knee, the other straight, and you just shift it from side to side. You can take the arms from side to side if that feels good on your shoulders. So as one knee bends, the arms go to that side. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to pedal if that's not comfortable. Okay, now we're going to come to center. Release your arms. Hooking right fingers over your left ankle or calf, maybe you're even over the knee. and we twist left arm up. So either left arm straight up, stretching two fingers through the elbow, or left hand on hip, and then pull on the right fingers. So maybe the right elbow will bend, maybe it's straight. If you're pulling so much and you're down quite deep, your right elbow will bend, that's fine. And left arm can be up or hand on hip. And we change, bringing that left arm down. Hook the left fingers over your right leg. Maybe it's the thigh, the knee, the calf, the ankle. Right arm up. Keep pressing your knees out away from each other. Maybe right hand is on the hip on this side. Again, if you're really pulling onto the left hand, the elbow might bend. Keep pressing knees and thighs and calves away from each other. And then releasing all the way down. And bring your feet into hip distance apart. On an inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, arms down. Straight back up with the next in-breath. On your exhale, forward fold. And now we're going to take our high lunge and we're going to hold it. Right leg steps back. Coming up. Arms to warrior one. If you're able to, arms are parallel to each other with elbows locked straight. Otherwise, you adjust, so arms go wider, maybe elbows bend to release the neck or shoulders if you're really tight there. We're moving into a twist. Right hand to the floor, left arm up, or hand on the left hip or sacrum. Keep opening the chest and spreading the shoulders in the front away from each other. So widening in the collarbones, widening in the chest. Left arm can be up or hand on hip, your choice. Now we're going to move into a low lunge. We're taking right knee to the ground. Check that your left heel is still under the left knee, and then arms back up to your warrior one. And once more, making the adjustment with the arms at what feels right for you. But if you are able to do those parallel arms with the elbows locked straight, go for it. And hands to the floor. Squeeze your tummy tight as you lift the back knee and step forwards. And we're taking our high warrior one lunge on the other side. Left leg back, right knee over the right heel. When you lift your chest, arms go up alongside your ears. And squaring those hips as much as you can. Keep the left hip rolling forward, right hip rolling back. Left side of the chest goes forwards. Don't take it back. From here into our twist, left hand down, right arm up, or right hand on your right hip. But again, you're lifting your chest, lifting that right shoulder. So you're spreading and opening in the upper body rather than letting the right shoulder drop and then closing in the chest. And we're dropping back knee to the ground for our low lunge. Arms go up to warrior one. Right knee is over the right heel. Make that adjustment if it's disaligned or unaligned itself. And taking hands to the mat. And we're going to step forwards again. So tummy squeezes tight as that left foot comes up. Feet hip distance apart or wider. Reach your arms back. Find your hands. This time we're holding it to center. Shift your weight forwards into the front of your feet. On an in-breath, we're coming all the way up. Keep your arms back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Now we're going to pull the toes off the floor. Lift all 10 toes off the ground. Bend your knees, squeeze your tummy tight, and hug your shoulders closer to the spine. So we're looking straight forward. Your chin is parallel to the floor. Lift those baby toes, lift those big toes, lift all the toes in between. We're strengthening into the muscles in the arches of the feet. So people who have flat feet are the ones who need to do this like for 5 minutes every day. It just means those muscles are weak, right? And this is an exercise that builds strength in the arches of the feet. Okay, good, guys. Coming all the way up to standing, toes down, release your arms. On an in-breath, arms reach up. As you breathe out, fall down. We are going to take Parsvottanasana. Right leg steps back. Turn your right heel in and down. So right foot is like warrior one foot, 45-degree angle on the mat. We're staying folding over the left shin. If you need to, you got hands on that left leg. If your hands are on your knee, be very careful. Don't push the knee down. Just gently resting there so that your torso muscles still have to work to hold you up. And if it's comfortable for you, you reach those arms forward. There's also a version of, our younger guys will know this, a version where you reach your arms out to the side. Right, we're going to stay in the forward bend, walk your hands around to the right side of your mat, turn your feet parallel, and fold all the way down. So you can hold your legs, or you can have arms or hands to the floor. We'll press those knees out away from each other, so you're shifting your weight onto the baby toe outer edge of the foot. That lifts the arches of the feet up. Like keep your big toes down as well. Press down firmly with the big toes and the outer edges of the feet, inner arches and inner ankles lifting, inner calves and thighs, and knees pushing out. Now we're rolling all the way up to standing, and we're going to take it into triangle. So turning your left toes to the front of your mat. So right toe still pointing in the direction your chest is facing, left toes nice and open. Inhale, arms wide. Stretch through the left side of the body as you fold. Don't round the left side of the body or curve it. And then either right hand on your hip or right arm straight up. And once you're where you're going to stay, take shoulders back away from your chest. Just like in your twisting lunge, open the chest, spread the collarbones open. Keep the shoulders moving to your spine. 3 ways that you can turn your head here, down or up or in the direction your chest is facing. Keep twisting your left knee towards your left baby toe. Now we're keeping legs as they are. We're going to come up for reverse triangle. Right hand to the right leg or hip. Left arm reaches over. So if you're pushing your hand into your thigh or your hip, press your hip, your thigh back into your hand. If you've got hand on the knee, just very gently resting there. Shoulders still moving back away from your chest. And now we're coming up and we're going into side angle pose. Left knee bends, knee over your heel, either left elbow or forearm to your thigh or fingers to the ground, and either right hand on your hip or right arm straight up like your triangle, or the full side body extension, arm over your head. As that left thigh goes down, right inner thigh presses back and up. So you're getting the widening in the inner thighs and the groins. From here, hands down, either side your front foot, and we're stepping up to the top of the mat. We'll take that all to the other side. Parsvottanasana coming up. Left leg steps back. Turn the left heel in and down. Always stretch the right leg straight. Again, maybe you have to come up higher. So then you are strengthening a little bit more than if you're all the way down and it becomes more of the stretch. But if you're strengthening more, you're still stretching. It's just that little bit more of the balance action happening. And whenever we're balancing, we're strengthening. Again, maybe reaching arms forward or out to the sides. Keep lengthening forwards with your chest and your front body. Super heavy on the heels and your toes. Now we're staying in the forward fold. Walk your hands around to the left side of your mat and turn the feet parallel to each other. Once more, sinking yourself all the way down. Whatever you want to do with the arms and the hands is good. Just let that neck fully release and relax. Shifting your weight to the outer edges of the feet by pressing the knees out, pressing the calves and the inner ankles out. Arches of the feet super high. So if you're finding it difficult to lift the arches of the feet here, then you know that you've got to do that thing with lifting the toes that we did at the top of the mat just now. Let's roll all the way up to standing. Return your right toes to the top of your mat for triangle. Don't turn the left foot. Keep the left toes pointing straight in the direction of your chest. Inhale, arms wide. On your exhale, folding over. Either left arm straight up or left hand on your hip. Again, spread in the chest. Move the shoulders back away from each other. Lengthen through both sides of your neck. That inner left thigh presses back towards the back of the mat. That action gives you a deeper release in the outer hip. And now we're going to come all the way up. Reverse triangle, left hand to left hip or thigh, or if you're resting on the knee, very gently. Otherwise, you can push your palm into your leg or your pelvis. At the same time, push the hip back into your hand or the thigh back into your hand. Soften the neck, soften shoulders down away from your neck. Okay, good, guys. We're coming up for side angle pose. Right knee bends, knee over your heel, either elbow, forearm on your leg, or fingers down to the ground. Left hand can be on hip, or left arm straight up like triangle, shoulders all the way back, or full extension, arm over your head. You still keep your shoulders moving to your spine. Just like the other side, keep this back leg really strong. Push the inner thigh back towards the back of your mat and up. But don't let that lift of the thigh lift the pelvis, right? The pelvis is going down, inner thigh pushes up. And hands to the ground. And we're stepping forwards, top of the mat. We're staying in our forward bend for a few breaths, either hanging your arms or holding ankles or calves. Knees can be bent. If your knees are bent, your back might be rounding a little bit. That's fine. And let the arms hang, let the head hang. On an in-breath, we're coming all the way up. On your exhale, hands to chest. So I'm going to give everyone a different thing here to Anisha. Anisha, you're going to do feet hip distance apart, and you're going to repeat the twist that you did earlier, but you're going to have hand on the floor or hold onto the leg. Okay, everyone else is doing twisting chair. So feet together, hands to chest. We're going to bend into the knees, squeeze those knees tight. You can also do this with feet hip distance apart and knees hip distance apart. If your feet are apart, don't bring the knees together. So it's either feet touching and knees touching, or feet and knees hip width apart. Okay, let's take it. Right elbow over the left thigh. Squat your bum down nice and deep. Stretch your bum back. And Anisha, that's perfect. Okay, guys, sit your bum down lower if you can. Ah, good, Anissa. Nice, coming all the way up to center. Straight over to the other side. Yes, good. Okay, so again, be super aware if your feet and your knees are hip width apart. Don't bring the knees together. Don't let those knees go wider than your feet. So keeping those leg muscles nice and strong and engaged. And then if you did on the other side, sink the hips a little bit lower. From here, straight into your forward bend. Nice, everyone. Okay, we're going to take a high lizard. So take your feet out a little bit wider than your hips. Your hands are shoulder width apart, and we're stepping the right leg back down the right side of the mat. Make sure that your feet are a little bit wider than your hips. Hands on the inside of the left foot, left knee over the left heel. So flatten into your back as much as you can here, and then lift your back heel all the way up over your toes. And we're either staying with straight arms, or if you're going deeper, if you're taking elbows down, left elbow down first, right elbow down second. And then it's both elbows and forearms on the ground, not just your right elbow down and the left elbow up. If that's the case, you come back onto straight arms. Keep trying to stretch your right leg as straight as you possibly can. With each in-breath, chest moves forward. And we're taking back knee down to the mat. And bring that knee in a little bit so that your knee is more in line with your hip. And then lifting your chest up. Okay, Anisha, you're going to skip out the twist. You can just do normal lunge with arms back. Or we're taking the twist, right hand over the left leg, left arm wrapping back behind you. So maybe it's just left arm behind you or left fingers over the hip, maybe a little bit deeper and hooking your left fingers over the outside of the right thigh. Then you're really going to feel that stretch on the front of the left shoulder. Okay, back toes can be pointed or tucked. That's up to you. Okay, untwisting, hands to the ground. We're stepping right foot forwards and we're taking our high lizard on the other side. Left leg back, arms on the inside of the right leg. So take the right foot wide enough. Get the left toes as far back as you can so you can lift that left heel up nice and high. Stretch out the sole of your foot fully. And then if you're taking elbows down, it's right forearm down first, then the left. Try not to round your back if you're going down that deep. Flatten into your spine. Lengthen the chest forward. Check in with your breath. Keep breathing, guys. Breathing deeply if you can. Then we're going to take back knee down to the floor, coming into our low lunge. Chest lift, either reaching back and interlacing fingers if you did that on the other side, or left hand over the right thigh, right arm wrapping back behind you, maybe hooking fingers over the hip, maybe hooking fingers over the outside of the left thigh. Keep the breath even. And then untwisting yourself. We're taking hands to the mat. We're going to push back into a downwards dog. We're going to hold our down dog for a full minute. If you don't want to do down dog, you can do baby down dog, or you can come into downwards hero, make it a rest pose. Okay, so in your down dog, remember we want to feel for balance here between the upper body and the lower body. So the more you press back with the hips and the thighs, the more you have to press forwards with your armpits and your upper arms, which stops you from over compressing into the shoulder joint. And remember, guys, weight-bearing exercise builds bone density. Downwards facing dog is a weight-bearing exercise for your whole body. So really good for your bones. So relax the neck. Also finding that balance of being strong where you need to be strong here and opening where you need to open. So obviously your whole back body is opening here from tips of your toes. Soles of your feet are considered part of your back body. So tips of the toes over the soles of the feet, the heels, whole back of the legs, your spine, your back of the head to your forehead. That's where your back body starts, at your eyebrows. Relax the neck. Okay, well done, everyone. We're going to come down onto hands and knees. Toes together, knees wide. Or if you want to, you can do full child's pose, arms down your sides, curling into a little ball. Otherwise, it's knees open, arms forward. There's also a version of knees open with arms down the sides of the shins. So find the one that's good for you and fully relax into it. And make your way up to sitting. Stretching your legs out in front of you. And we're going to take Jana Shashasana. Right foot to inside of left thigh. When you're ready, reach forwards and fold. Okay, so just like my twist at the beginning of the class, you know I love to do that with the leg over, and you know I love to do Jana Shashasana. I like to put it into every practice, those two, if I can. And again, Jana Shashasana, really great opener for your whole body, stretching out your back, your shoulders. If you're getting the lengthening in the chest, it's opening the chest, it's opening into the back of this left leg and the hips on both sides, outside of the right thigh, and your glutes. So just fabulous for opening the whole body, but also seated forward bends, really good for stress release. They're anti-anxiety poses, forward bends, because they tone and calm the nervous system. All right, so I come all the way up and change sides. Left foot to inside of the right leg, and when you're ready, folding forwards. Soften the shoulders down. Each time you breathe in, extend your chest forwards. Each time you breathe out, feel the sinking, heavy sensation of the out breath and allow your body to release into that. And coming all the way up. So either both legs straight, if that's more comfortable for you, either feet together, or if you want to do feet apart, make sure these big toes stay pointing up. Otherwise, we're coming to cross ankles. You may or may not need your strap now. We're going to take Gomukhasana arms. So before we do that, let's just take a few rolls of the shoulders. And then circling in the opposite direction. And once more, rolling in the other direction. Okay, then relaxing the shoulders down. And guys, when we're going to Gomukhasana, so that's the one arm up, one arm down, arms behind your back. If you're using a strap, it's in the top hand, obviously. But remember, as the arms go back, the shoulder is going to come forwards. Let the shoulder come forward. Don't try and force it back. So let's do right arm up. If you're using a strap, use strap in right hand and left arm down. So as you take the left arm behind you, roll the shoulder forwards because that gives you more space to get the forearm up the back. Drop the right arm down or the strap down. And now once you get your hook of your fingers or once you're holding your strap, then you take the left shoulder back. You try and get the left shoulder as far back as you can. You can also have left hand pushing on the right elbow. Either of those is effective. Try not to tilt your head to the side. So we lengthen up through both sides of the neck, through the throat, through the back of the neck, evenly on all four sides. Keep taking left shoulder back. So the more you hold it here, the more the left shoulder will tip forward. Then you don't take it back again. It tips forward, you take it back again. Keep reminding yourself not to let the left shoulder dip. Okay, now when we come up, very slowly, don't whip yourself out. Very slowly, let the shoulder roll forward. If your back rounds a little bit, that's fine. And then we take it off to the other side. Left arm up, right arm down. As that right arm goes back, bring the right shoulder forward so we come out of alignment to go into the pose safely. And once you've got your grip behind you, then taking the right shoulder back. Okay, and that's not an easy thing to do. It doesn't feel comfortable to take that right shoulder back. It feels like you're trying to force something to happen. Make sure that your neck stays relaxed because what's happening in the neck is going to affect that right shoulder and vice versa. So I want to try and soften the neck muscles. Keep the right shoulder going back. Keep checking in on the right shoulder. You do that every few seconds. Take a little bit further back. Take a little bit further back. Check in with the breath as well. Keep breathing, guys. And then releasing out. Nice. Okay, you roll the shoulders a little bit. And when you're ready, tipping into your Paschimottanasana. Okay, I'm going to hold you here for a full minute. Relax the shoulders again. Each time you breathe in, heart lifts and moves forwards. Stretch your heels out away from you. And then releasing out. You're going to make your way down onto your back. So once you're on your back, we're going to take a twist. You stretch your legs out on the floor. With the feet touching. And then bend your left knee up. You roll your left thigh over your body. Press the left shoulder flat into the ground. And then you can turn that left palm up to the ceiling. So you've got the left arm like in a cactus arm shape, flattening the shoulder blade, forearm, and the elbow down. If you want to, you can hold onto the left leg or not. You can have arm on the floor. If you're turning your head, turn your head towards the left. Otherwise, nose straight up. Really relax into your breathing now. And let's twist it up to center. And we change sides. So right knee up, twist the right leg over. Once that right leg is over, you bend the right elbow, turn your palm to the ceiling, rest the back of the hand on the floor. Sink the right shoulder flat down into the mat. And untwisting. So if you need to, you hug your knees or happy baby yourself. You do that for as long as you need to. And when you're done, we're going into Shavasana. You're dropping down deep into shoulders. Sinking flat into your spine. Breathe softness into your lower back, softness into the belly. Fully relaxing your chest and your shoulders. Fully relax all the muscles in your face. Each exhale, sinking deeper and deeper into your state of rest and release. And now start to make small movements. Slowly wake yourself up. Reconnect to your body. Moving fingers and toes. Wrists and ankles. Taking in a deep breath. When you're ready, stretch yourself or hug knees one more time. And gently making your way up to sitting. May our minds be open to the divine light that guides us. May our hearts be open to the divine love that surrounds us. May the angels keep us and bless us and bring us joy. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.